You know, Dad would get into it with anybody.
Good morning, and today in L.A., I'm Mike Amos, and he's Bill Rice Jr. We're starting a Tuesday on our show, and we're heading down the stretch for high school and graduation, and
yeah, it's
the
all the
Pike
school
Liberal
year.
Arts is out today. Congratulations to them.
They're done, huh?
And yeah, they're done today, and I bet a lot of seniors are probably at home skipping school, sleeping it out this morning. But it is a wonderful day for those folks. And then, of course, Charles Henderson High School.
Good morning.
And the Pike
Guten Morgen.
Our German guy here, he can't speak English yet.
That's the only German words I know.
But we do want to congratulate the seniors for Charles Henderson High School and also Pike County High School. And Charles Henderson is going to actually graduate out here Thursday morning, isn't it?
That's what I heard from Doc Kirby on WTBS. 10 o'clock in the morning at Memorial Stadium is Charles Henderson's graduation ceremony.
Yeah.
By invite.
I imagine that's going to be a little hot.
By invite only. You got to have tickets that the families of the graduates distribute. So it's not open. They're still using COVID protocols, in other words.
And Mike, the thing
my daughter, Mary Prater Amos will graduate BPK on Wednesday morning at Point Washington Preschool.
All right.
And I plan to be there, my friend. I wouldn't miss it. And
we had the.
I don't remember BPK at all, and I definitely don't remember having to dress up in cap and gown for it.
Yeah, that's a new.
Is that something that happened later in life?
Yeah. Now you have all these big elaborate graduation ceremonies for pre-K and younger.
But I tell you, it's a big day in these kids' lives, especially the seniors. And when they sing the alma mater, I will sing along. But a voice deep down inside of me will sing the wedding songs, cap and gown. You look so pretty in your cap and gown. I won't do that again.
That's a music medley. That's not bad. You sing better than I thought you would.
All right, Nick, you stop laughing, Nick. You continue to shave, Nick, right there. You continue to shave, man, as I sing to you the alma mater. Of course, the Charles Henderson High School alma mater.
Proud we stand in southern
deep
sunlight, Jim, atop a hill, teaching us to work and play. Come on, Michael. Giving us a will, symbol of 1,000 joys to those who hold you dear. Henderson High, our alma mater. All Trojans now behail. Hey, I can't believe it. We almost got it right.
I couldn't remember hardly a word.
Well, let me tell you this. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. I tell you what, when Henry Greer was the principal at Charles Henderson High School, we sang that song every time we ever had any kind of assembly or anything like that.
Herman Gunner was the principal.
That's
we
right.
did the same thing.
And a lot
what
of
is it? Proudly stand in southern sunlight, Jim.
yeah,
I think so.
It one time said Dixie Sunlight, but they changed it from Dixie to Southern, and that was the only change I know. But it was a great alma mater, and I'll tell you another little history. The guy that wrote that alma mater was Mr. Nettles, who later left Charles Henderson and went to Andalusia, and was Andalusia's bandmaster for many years. But he wrote that.
Did a good job. That's a good alma mater. I'll put Charles Henderson's alma mater up there against anybody's.
That's
good
right.
Job, Mr. Nettles.
And to be honest with you, I've never sang that song. You know, I've jumped around and sang songs just to be funny, and I was this morning. But
I don't think I could have made it through it unless I had having somebody sing with you. Kind of brings it back.
Yeah. It was somewhere, Symbol of 1,000 Joys, where I would sometimes get mixed up right after that. I don't know.
There's hard parts, and a lot of, like the Alabama fight song. You been sing that?
Yeah.
Yeah, Alabama. Now is it Crimson Tide, or is it Drowning Tide?
No, Crimson Tide.
Yay, Alabama, Crimson Tide. Every Bama man's behind you, hit your stride. Go teach the Bulldogs to behave. Send those yellow jackets to a watery grave. And if a man starts the weekend, that's his shame. This is the tough part. 'Cause Bama's pluck and grit has writ her name in Crimson's lane. Fight on, fight on, fight on, men. Remember the Rose Bowl will win then. So roll on to victory, hit your stride. Your Dixie's football pride, Crimson Tide, roll tide, roll tide.
And for you guys that are getting mad right now, War Eagle. The Auburn Tigers getting ready for a big football season as they open the season against the
orange and blue. Hey, 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 roll, war to victory. Fly down the field, hit them high, hit them low, stand up and yell.
Hey, War Eagle, good for Auburn power of Dixieland.
I know most of that one.
I tell you, it's got a jingle. Both.
Oh no. Must be an emergency call.
Hello. Missed it. But folks coming in.
I think we're about.
Speaking of Auburn, they got a new quarterback coming.
I know it, and you know what it does? You know what it tells me?
There's going to be some real quarterback competition for Bo Nix.
That's what I say. Oh, Bo Nix, when he woke up this morning, he got a little more pressure on him.
You know, it might be good for him. The competition does bring out the best in people.
I'll tell you what, you're exactly right. But back to these two songs, and of course, the Crimson Tide song is a beautiful song. But you can't get fired up at an Auburn student or graduate or whatever, or fan, over that song. You can't get fired up. It'll fire you up, and of course, Alabama's the same way. But Auburn's fight song is probably one of the best in the country.
It's good. Auburn's uniforms are some of the best in the country too.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Exactly.
Michigan's is pretty high up there.
Yeah, that's right. It is.
Oh yeah, Notre Dame. Let's see.
Yeah, we're going to our phones now. Hold on, Mike. Lou Vickery.
How are you?
Lou Vickery, what you doing, man? What's up?
Well, you guys don't know this, but the day after I left you, I was with you about 3 or 4 weeks ago. I came up with COVID.
Oh, man. I'm glad you didn't come on our set, did you? You didn't come on our set, did you?
No, he called in.
Oh, yeah.
But I wanted to let you know that the book release that we were talking about with Sonny Smith has been delayed to the midsummer. And I got out of the hospital Thursday. But,
oh, wow.
Hey, guys.
Yeah, we hear you. We're here.
Yeah, we hear you. We hear you, Lou.
Huh?
We're here.
Well, I'm going to tell you, it's all clear from here forward.
Well,
I want to let you know that I still appreciate any promotion we can get on the book. It will probably be released in 1st of July.
Have you had a vaccine?
It's the weirdest thing. I finished my tennis tournament in Dothan, headed to get my vaccine, and found out I had COVID.
Too late.
And so how long have you been laid back again?
I went down May 1st and got home last Thursday, Friday the 21st.
So you were in the hospital.
What hospital were you in?
Fairhope.
Now, you didn't have to, but you didn't have to have a ventilator or anything like that, did you?
Well, I had pneumonia, guys, and to get pneumonia, you're gonna have to have some air, and I had the air machine. I'm still having to use it some, but I'm on the road to men. I'm in Auburn and got family here, and so
good.
It's just gonna take a little time, but my statement is that we just got to be cautious. I kept putting off the shot. I'm going to get this sermon out of the way. I don't think you can do that, guys. You can't pick and choose for yourself. You just got to do what's best, don't you think?
Yeah, I agree. Let me tell you something,
Yeah,
Lou.
I've had both shots. Dad's had both shots. Bill is still waiting, I think.
Bill needs to go get him some shots, I think.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm
What do you say about that, Lou?
Go ahead.
What do you think? What do you think about taking the shots?
Well, originally, Mike, I had some reservations. Then I made a decision after all my tennis buddies had. So I got lined up, and as I said, I was going to wait till I got back from tennis tournament in Dothan. By the way, guys, I don't know if you know what you know about tennis, but I ended up playing a 3-hour and 2-minute match.
Golly, you must be pretty good, gosh.
And so, and I can remember, I will say this, and I think this is important at any age. My doctor at the hospital told me, he says, Mr. Vicker, what's going to save you is those brown legs. And if you know what I mean, getting out and being active. So I'm thankful for that.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, the highest risk factor is people that are, bad out of shape and overweight is really.
Yeah.
You know something I thought about the other day, I don't know, or maybe it was just a while ago. I remember you living in Troy. Of course, you coached football. We coached football under Jim Tompkins together, and really had some good times. But I remember a little boy, and I want to say he was left-handed. Was that little boy left-handed?
Now you're talking about my son?
Your son?
No, he was not, Mike. He was right-handed, but he hit left-handed. So
what now?
Yeah.
He hit left-handed.
He hit
left-handed. All right, that was it. He hit left-handed. You know, when he was a little kid.
Guys, I had a bunch of nephews that played there at Troy. Mike, as you know, the Miller boys.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The Miller boys from Long High, Skipperville. They're related to you.
Yeah, those are my nephews. But
those are his nephews.
The interesting thing about all that, Mike, is that they all hit left-handed.
Yeah.
All mine. I think my brother, my brother played with the Washington Senators.
Yeah.
But my brother, I believe, was the only right-handed hitter we had in the family.
God, what a baseball family. So you played at the highest levels.
He played with the Yankees.
Your brother played for the Washington Senators. Your nephews are like legends in Skipperville, aren't they?
Oh, yeah, they are. They're legends.
Yes, they are.
And their daddy, so what relation is their daddy with you?
Well, that's my brother-in-law.
All right, okay, that's right.
And he pitched in the Cincinnati Red organization.
Wow.
Wow.
That is amazing.
But now your sport is tennis, but you got the deep baseball roots.
He's an athlete and everything. Another guy that turned out to be a pretty good golfer is William Davis. William Davis is one of your best friends, isn't he?
He sure is. How's he doing, by the way?
He's doing better, and I hope he'll call our show this morning. He watches us, and William is a very good golfer, and you boys, when y'all do things, y'all try to do it right. I know that.
Well, hey guys, if you're golfers, I got a rule for you, okay? Since I'm not. The 2 rules about golf. Hit them straight and don't hit them too often.
Yeah. Mike, are you on the line, Mike?
Yeah, I'm on
Okay, I just want to know. I'll tell you this. You can address this a little bit, Lou, on Mickelson's great golf match this past weekend. Have you ever seen anything like that as far as golf goes?
Let me tell you what even makes it better, Mike, is being left-handed.
That's what I hear.
I've always pulled for Mickelson because he's left-handed.
Yeah.
But Ben, that just made it almost.
And see, you were left-handed, isn't that right? You were left-handed.
Yeah.
You know what the odd thing is, though?
Tell me.
Mickelson is not left-handed.
That's interesting, isn't it? But he really is not, is he?
It's like all your family that is right-handed, but Matt's
he does
left-handed.
everything else right.
It's like Tua Tagovailoa is right-handed too, that throws the football left-handed.
Let me tell you this. I wasn't a hero, but let me tell you this. I batted left-handed.
You did?
I shot.
Oh, you are left-handed.
I batted right-handed. I batted right-handed. I threw overhanded right-handed. I threw underhanded left-handed. I kicked left-footed. I played pool left-handed.
You're all over the place.
And it wasn't very good at any of them.
But you right left-handed.
Right, left-handed.
Mike?
Huh?
Are we surprised that that's Mike?
That is, my friend Charles Bradshaw was like that. He did half the things left-handed and half of them right-handed.
But you know, the sad thing was I wasn't left-handed because most of your great pitchers were left-handed. Isn't that right?
But you right left-handed and throw right-handed.
Yeah, that's right.
That is really, I have never heard of anybody that does that.
Yeah, the only thing I do left-handed, and I do it a lot at the beach, is because I live here, is I throw a frisbee left-handed.
Oh, you do? You really?
Well, that's weird.
Oh,
yeah.
But we've got Lou Vickery on our line, and of course the author
left-handed
of an outstanding book. I'll tell you this.
And he's got a great book coming out with Sonny Smith.
And that's what I'm saying. Just Sonny Smith alone will make that book a hit because everybody loves him.
Hey, I got to tell you one quick story, guys. It's in the book. And you know, Sonny grew up in a home, and I mentioned this before, where that there was no electricity, no running water, no indoor plumbing, and it was that way until he was in high school. But he said he thought his name until he was 5 years of age was Getwood.
Oh gosh, oh man.
Where did he grow up?
Tennessee, didn't he?
He was in
Appalachia, Virginia.
He grew up on Rome Mountain, Tennessee. It's about 2,000 feet up the mountain.
That's not far from Jacksonville State, is it?
Huh?
That's not far from Jacksonville State, is it?
Well, it's on
Is that Rome,
Rome, Georgia, yeah.
Rome, Georgia?
No, Rome Mountain,
Tennessee?
Tennessee. It's Rome Mountain, Tennessee.
Now here's what.
So where is that near then?
That's up past Bristol, guys. That's way up in the corner.
Okay.
Oh yeah, so he's near almost like Virginia, the Virginia line.
That's correct. Yeah.
So obviously, I'm going to make an assumption here. What changed Sonny Smith's life and improved his life dramatically? He must have got into the sport of basketball. I guess he was a good basketball player and then played in college. Is that what happened?
Now, this may surprise you also. He only played 7 games his senior year because of health reasons. He had bad back. He almost died twice in school. But what kind of stayed him, he kept working at it. Every summer he'd play in a summer league, and finally he got an opportunity to go to junior college in Mississippi. Went to Mississippi, became an All-American, and the whole statement goes, the rest of it's history, but it was not easy for him because he couldn't get a scholarship.
Did he play at a 4-year school after junior college?
He did. He played at a place called Milligan.
Yeah. All right.
You guys have you ever heard of a coach, former NBA coach named Dale Harris?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, he had Dale Harris with the starting guards at Milligan.
All right. What year was that, would you say?
Late 50s.
Late 50s. All right. You know, Cheryl Crow from right here in Troy, you know, Crow's Chicken and all that. You know, Cheryl, he played at Clark College. And that was the same league they were in.
Where is Milligan? What state's it located in?
Milligan's in Elizabethton, Tennessee. I believe it's where it's located.
Oh yeah, I got you. All right. And
now you ready for this? The nickname is Buffaloes.
What now?
Buffaloes.
Buffalo. Okay.
You can go figure that because it ran by Buffalo Creek.
Yeah. Well, you know, he was a class act. I know this, and you know, I know how you develop a relationship with him. He plays tennis, and you play tennis. Is that right?
That's it, Mike. Mike, the interesting thing was we found out we had pretty good chemistry together, but it was always he liked to kid me, and he says, line, Lou, is get it. You get it. You get it. So it was my job to get it. But I tell you one thing, he's a tough opponent because he's got those long arms.
Yeah.
How tall is Sonny Smith? Is he just about average?
He's about 6'4", and but his wingspan. You ready for this one?
Oh,
72 inches.
Oh man,
72
that's way out there. 72-inch wingspan.
Wow, it says Milligan University's or it used to be Milligan College. It's $35,000 a year to go to school there.
Good gracious.
Boy, oh, really? Yeah. Oh man.
Small little school.
Yeah,
in,
you know,
City, Tennessee.
all right, you know, Wimp and Sonny had a tremendous rivalry. I mean, let me tell you, I know I know a little bit about playing against different people, and hey, you don't really like them. You're a rival, you don't really like them. I don't know anybody that is any good at anything that would say, that doesn't make it tough on his rival.
You respect them, I guess.
What did you say about Wimp's relationship with Sonny?
Well, let me tell you something. I travel with those guys, so I don't know if you, Mike, you know this. I spent 19 years hosting a radio show in South Alabama, but the big issue was that I started with Sonny and Wimp. Wimp didn't like to come to the studio on Friday, so after I had retired in Birmingham, I'd go to the studio with Sonny. But let me tell you the fun part is when you travel with those guys and they would speak to groups. You know, their personalities are almost completely opposite.
Oh yeah.
But they blend so well together that it was always fun to be around them.
You know, in the heyday of Wimp Sanderson, they did something that they would have a fan. They would have just a little a cardboard fan, and have his face on it, and then have the eyes cut out.
I remember those.
You know, back then, and then when they had the what do you call it, the plaid palette. You know, that was probably one of the unique things in sports. Those two things were unbelievable unique.
Well, he was associated with the plaid sport coat, like Steve Spurrier is associated with the visor, or Coach Bryant was associated with the houndstooth hat.
I wish I had one of the jackets. He could get rich off that jacket, and I wish I had some shoes. I call them rah-rahs. Have some rah-rahs to go with them.
How long did Sonny coach at Auburn? Do you know?
Sonny was at Auburn 11 years.
And then he had a good career after Auburn, didn't he?
Yeah, and then he went to Virginia Commonwealth for another 9 or 10.
That was a good program there too.
But he, Sonny's in 8 Hall of Fame. Now, don't ask me to repeat.
Golly, that is amazing.
But hey guys, I appreciate your time. I'm about out of breath for now, but Mike, Bill, guys, I'd like to call you guys back when we get close to releasing.
Okay, we'd love to have you. And
yeah, we're looking forward to the book. Thank you for the update, and I'm glad you're doing better.
And Lou Victor, you get well soon,
have
buddy.
A great one.
Yeah, real tough
Take
battle
care.
with COVID.
Of course, we'll be back in just a moment.
This is my chart from Southeast Health.
And you're going to want to make it yours.
Not because it's free,
But because it's priceless. Because with my chart, you can schedule appointments online with your provider.
You can email your provider and get answers.
Get test results,
refill prescriptions,
and manage your family's health care.
You know how we all want healthcare to be easier?
But no one seems to listen?
well, someone did. Southeast Health.
To get your free My Chart app,
Visit your app store or go to southeasthealth.org.
Barney, what are you doing?
You've been looking for a sale. I'm going to give you one. We got one open.
Barney, it's not a jail sale. It's called a car sale. 0% financing for 72 months. Discounts over $15,000.
Killing the competition.
$5,000 over Kelly Blue Book for any old trade. Hey, and it's not illegal to kill the competition.
That's another charge.
Folks, just go to PremierTroy.com. That's where you'll find all the deals. I'll see you soon.
No, you ain't. You're going to be in jail.
Barney!
Nobody beats a Premier deal. Nobody!
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
When something feels just right, you know it. And at Badcock Home Furniture and More, this Memorial Day, we're here to help you find what fits your life. Find your just right at Badcock's Memorial Day sale. Save up to 50% throughout the store, including Sealy mattress sets. Plus, you can apply, finance, and save in-store and online. For comfort, style, and financing that always fits, it has to be Badcock. Badcock Home Furniture and More. Just right.
Back to our show, brought to you by Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Honda. And ladies and gentlemen, we talk every day.
Not Honda.
Everybody knew what we
Premier
meant.
Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass in Troy, and we appreciate them so much. And they've got a sale. We talk about their sales on this show all the time. But they say this one is one of the biggest ever since they came to Troy and opened up their dealership. And it is a wonderful dealership. Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass has got a sale like you won't believe. Like you said, Mike, you and I were talking the other day. If you go in there, you're going to want to buy something, I promise you, because they've got a great selection of cars and trucks to choose from. Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram truck. Well, Mike,
the commercials. I see them every once in a while when I watch the replays. They've got some good commercials going on out there too.
Some of the best, and people are really enjoying them. But just they've got all these new cars, but they've got a great selection of new and used cars to choose from.
They've got great commercials.
They sure do.
They've got pretty ads in the Troy Messenger that give you all the information you need. I'll tell you what, they believe in advertising. You need to have good advertising, and they got good advertising, and you got to repeat it, and you got to be consistent with it, and it works, man, if you do that.
And Jack Martin will kick off for Alabama, the former Troy Trojan, now at the University of Alabama. From Dothan, Alabama, Jack. I think he's from Dothan. I want to say. Jack,
yeah, he played at Northview.
At Northview.
And Northview is defunct now, isn't it? They don't have it.
No. But one thing also, this Martin name. There was a football player that played back when you played. Not when you played, but when your daddy played, named Martin. And he's now a doctor in Dothan, and
Jerry Martin,
and he was one of the few 9-9 sprinters on Alabama's team.
Golly.
And Mike, what do you think?
Martin's an interesting story. He came to Troy as a place kicker, never punted. He was just place kicker and kicker, and couldn't win the kicking job at Troy. And next thing you know, they moved him to punter. And the guy averages 45 yards a kick.
Yeah, 46.
And that's the only reason Alabama wanted him, because he was the top kicker in the Sun Belt last year. And
is he a rugby style kicker or a traditional?
No, he's a straight on.
And he kicks real hot.
Kid, the guy that from California played like Eastern Illinois, he's your rugby guy.
Yeah, and does a good job with it. Yeah, right.
The only reason all this happened though is Tyler Sumter. Troy's starting punter left to go kick at West Virginia.
Yeah. How did he do?
Kicking some field goals, but that's the only reason Martin even became the punter.
Yeah.
It's crazy that Martin wasn't good enough to beat Lagasse at place kicker. Interesting to say the least.
It really is.
Well, he can also kick field goals and extra points in an emergency. It sounds like, since he's got that background.
Yeah, well, he can definitely kick off. He's a guy that got a lot of touchbacks kicking off. He kicks off well.
I don't think anybody.
Yeah, they need that. Good.
I don't think anybody's going to miss out. I mean, Will Reichert has got the kicking game locked up. How many did he hit for 29 straight? What did he did?
He didn't miss last year.
16 or 17 straight he hit last year.
Which is phenomenal.
He didn't miss an extra point.
The snapper left and went to the pros. Actually got drafted. The snapper got drafted.
Oh, are you serious?
Reichert in the spring game missed 3 field goals.
Oh gosh! And the holder left. And you really got money to go?
Yeah, he actually got drafted by the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Oh boy, isn't that amazing?
Or no, the Carolina Panthers.
You know, Alabama's snappers are interesting. I think Carson Tinker was great and might still be in the pros. Yeah. But he was a snapper for 3 or 4 years. Then they got this guy Mazza from California. Yeah. That was a highly touted snapper, and he snapped for 4 years. And then this guy, I think, snapped for 4 years. So Alabama and about
snaps for the Chargers.
He's two of them are in the pros. 3 of them, Alabama's last 3 snappers are all in the NFL or were, and they've only had 3 snappers in probably 12 years. I mean,
Dad and I went to Vegas one time with Johnny Williams and David, his son, and David was out in Vegas at a snapping camp.
That's right, yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, I remember
that. He was trying to be a snapper in college. Of course, he was on the Alabama national championship team in 2009 as a walk-on.
And I want to say he was.
He's got a national championship ring at Alabama, and then he didn't play for 2 or 3 years, stopped playing football, and went back to UNA where his dad played and finished his career up there at UNA. And his quarterback was Luke Wingo, Rich Wingo's son.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah, Luke Wingo had a good career, didn't he?
Oh, he was phenomenal at UNA. He was All-American.
That is, look, the Wingos are the Rich Wingo is the brother-in-law of Alan Jones here in Troy.
I want to say from Elkhart, Indiana. I want to say that's where his home is. It took me if I got that right.
His son Jake Wingo got a full scholarship to Alabama, but Jake had a neck injury and had to stop playing.
Yeah. Rich Wingo was one of the greats at Alabama, linebacker.
And he's in the state legislature now, I think.
Yeah. He's a fine man, too, if you ever heard him speak. I wanted to let you know that this is what Premier is all about. This is how you sell cars. Now they say here that this is hurry in today.
Sale in Saturday.
Sell in Saturday. But they say this is their super sale. You know, they've had big sales, but this is their super sale.
Look at all the cars they got under $10,000.
Yes, exactly. And just pick it up today, and you can find out and take it out there with you and say, hey, I can't believe these cars and these kind of prices. So they've got a huge sale today at Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass in Troy, and appreciate them.
I need to mention Troy baseball. The great freshman pitcher Garrett Gaines was the named Freshman of the Year in the Sun Belt Conference.
Oh man!
He won nine games as a freshman. Also, first team All Sun Belt were Drew Fredericks, who's been with Troy for 6 years, and then Logan Sennery. Yeah. So a lot of people think Sennery will be maybe go in the first 5 rounds of the Major League Baseball draft.
That is really, really something. And let me say this:
the Sun Belt Conference tournament starts today.
Yes,
today. Yeah, in Montgomery at 12:30.
All right, everybody hear that? 12:30. Trojans versus Arkansas State.
Is that what it is, Mike? 12:30.
Do or die, double elimination.
Yeah.
To keep the season alive, you got to keep winning. The only way that Troy can make it to the NCAA tournament is to win this tournament.
Yeah. Mike, let me. You got to help me here. Where can we watch that on television?
Let me look and see what kind of covers they're going to have.
I can,
I just have to listen to it on the radio.
I know it, but gosh, why can't? I mean, I'm sure it's going to be televised, isn't it?
Yeah, it's on ESPN Plus. I don't know if they'll have it on at the Country Club.
Again, Steve Steve, how in the world do I get ESPN Plus? I mean, what do I have to do? I don't know.
It's a streaming service, Dad. You pay $4.99.
Well, I'll pay it. I'll pay it. I would gladly pay it.
Or on the ESPN app.
I would like.
And you watch it on your computer or your phone.
We're on Troy Cable.
Yeah, I know it. Exactly.
Well, that's.
But
the game will be on at 12:30. I mean, we'll be today at 12:30 at Riverwalk Stadium. So if you want to go up there and eat lunch at Martin's, and drive over and watch baseball, you can do that.
Yeah, if you don't know where Martin's is, if you know where Huntington College is, it's a block up from Huntington College, and it's the best. It's some of the best eating you'll have. Just to take or get a piece of that coconut pie with a meringue on it about that high,
and cornbread's famous.
And it's still warm from being in the oven. Boy, it's and then their cornbread muffins are the best I have ever had, without any doubt.
I would also suggest, as a possibility, going to Dirk's Filet and Vine in Old Cloverdale.
He's a yuppie.
Yeah, the yuppies like it, but everybody likes it. You know who really likes it is the people at Maxwell Air Force Base. They've all discovered it. But that's right there near Decatur Avenue and Cloverdale Road, that intersection where Stonehenge is, and the Cloverdale gas station, which is the only full-service gas station I know of still around in South Alabama or Central Alabama.
I've been.
But if you
they got one in Mount Brook.
You told me that. This one does well. I mean, isn't it neat? I did a story about the guy that does it. You can go back in time and still be successful. Well, but if you go to Dirk's, you need better get there at 11 because you're going to be in line at 12.
And so it is a great place. I just have never eaten there.
I'm going to take you.
But I've eaten at Martin's.
Well, you've done Martin's a million times. I've eaten at Martin's 50 times. Martin's, you can't go wrong with Martin's. Don't get me wrong.
But it's great food. And, you know, the thing about it, they feed you like you won't believe. Ladies and gentlemen, at Martin's, just on their regular menu, you order chicken and you say you want a breast. They bring you out not one big, huge breast, but they bring you out two big, huge breasts. I tell you what, you and your wife could easily eat. I say I'm gonna never want to do that, and I never have to do it. But if you wanted to share your plate with your wife, it would be easy to do because of that big old piece of chicken. And it's delicious.
That's what Blake Crow has done his whole life. Every time I go to eat dinner with him and his wife,
I know.
They share an entree. I'm just like, how in the world do you share an entree? but maybe that's why they're so skinny. And it's a great
ladies and gentlemen,
it cuts their food bill in half.
I have to laugh about that.
It's not like he's worried about his money. He's probably bringing about not six, but probably at least two $70 or $80 bottles of wine with it.
Yeah, he do that. You're right. But it tickled me because I know that Mike and Blake are best friends. They're just the opposite. Michael can't wait to eat yours and his. You know.
Yeah, I'm the guy that looks like his parents owned a fried chicken place and a pizza place growing up.
Yeah, right.
Blake and Bill Crow and Carolyn and Blake and Barry are way too good a shape.
Yeah. You know, I could do a story on Cheryl Crow, and ladies and gentlemen, he's one of the great people in our community, and what a wonderful person he is.
He's a class gentleman all around.
He's a class act, and never saw him without a smile.
And he has always stayed in shape his whole life.
Oh, yeah.
He sure has. He's got a lot of self-discipline.
Yeah, exactly right. He was a great athlete.
They got the prettiest shrubs in town, don't they?
Yeah, no question about it. But, and he married a beautiful girl, and she just happened to be from Washington State. At the University of Alabama, he met Carolyn there.
Oh, I didn't know she was originally from Washington State.
Yeah, she's originally from Washington State.
Oh, yeah, Blake used to go out to Washington all the time.
And that's where her parents were from. And, I always told her, I said, honey, when you come back, remember to bring me some apples.
Have you been to Washington State? Have you, Mike?
Yeah, I've been there. Yeah.
I was in Washington State for 4.5, 5 months.
I wonder how many states, if you name all the states, how many you have not been to.
Yeah. You know,
it's added up one day.
And then it's
Dad. Only place I don't know if Dad's been. I don't know if Dad. Have you been up to Maine and Vermont and all that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I went with Johnny. Went up there to eat
lobster.
Went up there and ate lobster. Yeah, I remember we drove up from Boston. We watched the Red Sox and the Yankees play from Fenway Park, and the next day we rode up to Maine just to eat big old giant lobsters. And I'll tell you,
is a Maine lobster better when you get it in Maine? Probably is.
Let me tell you.
They say a lobster roll from up there is incredible.
Well, let me tell you this. Driving to the traffic up there is terrible. I'm telling you, it's the worst traffic in
Boston,
the world.
Yes. Boston? Yeah, I've heard that.
And so once we finally got out of the traffic, we pulled into this little village type thing, and everything was like Cape Cod, and all that nice, beautiful surroundings. And I asked the guy, I said, "Are your are they fresh? Are your
lobsters fresh?
Lobsters fresh?" He said, "Well, you see that cage down there? They just pulled it out of the water, and you would eat it. They would steam it for you, and you would eat it. And let me tell you something. About lobsters. Some of it's good, and some of it's horrible.
No.
You get that old lobster and all the they hand it to you whole, see, and you're eating the good part, and then the other part.
You got to pick and
they give you the whole lobster. What I'm saying, and then you pick it, the meat, and delicious. But
I want to see Maine.
Maybe you have been to every state, then, Dad. I don't know. I know you haven't been to Alaska, and you haven't been to Hawaii.
Let's see. I haven't been to Hawaii, and I haven't been to the. I don't think I've been to the Dakotas. I don't believe. I didn't make that trip with Troy when they went to Vermilion.
Have you been to New Mexico?
Yeah. Yes.
You saw Troy play out there and get beat.
Yeah, saw him play football out there.
Well, I joke all the time about the Johnny Cash song, "I've Been Everywhere, Man," and I say, this is the guy that's been everywhere, and it's about the truth.
Well, maybe.
I don't know. I mean, have you been to Arizona? I don't know if you've ever been to Arizona.
Oh, yeah, I've been to Arizona, yeah. Especially by plane. I've flown into there by plane and got out.
Well, the Grand Canyon is in Arizona, and you told me that you saw the Grand Canyon, and you weren't impressed, or you were impressed for about a minute, and then you said, let's go somewhere else.
We drove from where's that place in Utah? The main place, Utah.
Salt Lake City.
Salt Lake City. Johnny Williams and I drove from Salt Lake City to the.
To Vegas.
No, not to Vegas, but to the canyon.
Grand
Canyon. All right, and it took us about 3 hours. When we got there, we looked and looked and looked for about 15 or 20 minutes and said, "Johnny, are you ready to go back?" Yeah, I said, "Yeah." He asked me if I was ready to go back. I said, "Yeah." And on the way back, it was. I said it was beautiful. It was spectacular. But if I didn't go again, it didn't bother me. the canyon, because you just see that big old canyon, and that's what you got there for. Then we rode back to.
Well, the canyon's so big you can't see it all at one, even the fraction of it from one spot, right?
So, yeah, Salt Lake. I can remember going up.
I wonder if you've been to New Hampshire or Delaware or any of those places.
I've never been to New Hampshire. I've been to Delaware. I'm almost positive, but I've never been to New Hampshire.
I've been to Springfield, Massachusetts when the Don Macer's Trojans played for the national. Yeah, I covered it for
You were up there for that?
For the Troy Progress and Don Herring.
Oh, gosh. One of the worst things that ever happened to Troy athletics was for them to have to come back on the final day and play
after a late night game.
After a game went almost to midnight, and that was terrible that they made Troy.
Well, here's what happened. I'll tell you, that's a distinct memory. One thing, there was still snow on the ground up there, and I went snow skiing. They had a little trail up there with some guys, some Troy University students I was buddies with, and so that was memorable. That was the last time I probably snow skied. But Troy was the high-scoring team. They got all this attention by, I think it was that year or the year before, scoring 258 points.
Yeah, I think it was that year.
So the press conference, I was at the press conference before the tournament, and everybody was talking about the prolific offense of Troy. Well, Troy comes out and wins the first game in a tough game, but they don't. It was a normal score game, you know, 70-60 or something like that. And everybody says, "Oh yeah, when Troy plays a good competition, they can't do this." Well, then the next night in the semifinals, Troy put 142 points on Rhode Island, I think.
No, New Hampshire.
New Hampshire, one of these.
Yeah, New Hampshire.
I mean, they lit it up, brother. And then, like you say, then they had to turn around and, 10 hours later play for the national championship.
Well, that'd be a real
against
good
the California.
Yeah, that's one of the saddest pictures you'll ever see. They had it in the Red Room for years at Troy. The team picture with Maestri and Felix and their expressions on their face, and even Tom Enzy's expression on his face. He was with, he was sports information director. I no telling how many times I looked at that picture when I worked in the athletic department.
Of them after they lost the national championship.
Yeah, holding the second place trophy, how devastated everybody looked.
Well, that was a great team, great trip. We flew into Connecticut, so I had been to Connecticut, and then we had a bus and we drove over to, Springfield?
Yeah, Springfield,
Massachusetts. So I've been to Massachusetts.
Yeah.
But we rode that bus rode right past the campus of ESPN.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
I mean, it's very nondescript.
Well, that was some real memories. I remember.
It doesn't count though if you stay in an airport when you fly to places.
All right.
Don't you have to get out and leave the airport?
That's a good question. I have been to Texas, but I have only been to the Dallas airport in Texas, and I never got out. So have I really been to Texas? And it was for like 40 minutes.
Yeah, I went to McAllen, Texas when I was 8 years old, and the next morning we went to Mexico.
Yeah. Listen, if you want to know some experiences from these things, in the NIT we played.
You played Niagara.
Niagara. We flew in to when we got out of the plane. It was about 75 to 80 degrees in Troy. When we got out of the plane up there, it was 17 inches of snow.
Oh my gosh!
On the ground, and Troy. And let me tell you the situation. Of course, we went on and we went to Niagara Falls and saw all the sights and everything. Before this basketball game, the basketball game was played at.
Niagara.
Probably right at 5 o'clock.
Yeah, right out there. We didn't play at Niagara. We played the University of Buffalo. That's where it was, the University of Buffalo. But the team, they flew into Cleveland, and they couldn't move. I mean, it was about 15, 17 inches of snow, and they couldn't move. And they had to get a bus and go by bus. And the bus went for about 10 or 15 miles an hour up those snowy, all the roads were snowed over. So when Troy finally got to the gym, they were about tired all over. So
in other words, they did not win.
Well,
they lost a real close game. Actually, I remember
that's right. To Niagara, lost to Niagara, and. For Niagara, for many years, had one of the great players of all time. Do you remember that name, Mike?
Yeah, Calvin Murphy.
Calvin Murphy. You ever heard of Calvin Murphy?
Yes.
Little guy.
Yes.
That everybody was scared of. They didn't want to fight him. They didn't want to do anything because he was tough.
Isn't he the guy that was the great free throw shooter too?
Yes, he was.
Well, he was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he became a big time tennis player too. He played pro tennis on the side. Yeah, I read a story. You know who he played a match against?
Who?
Mac Jones, the quarterback of Alabama's daddy, was a professional tennis player for a while. And I read a story in The Athletic that talks about a match between Mac Jones' daddy and this basketball player you're talking about. Yeah. But isn't that an amazing athlete that he played both?
Bill, you'll think this is interesting. Vaccinated students, staff at UA no longer need to mask, school says.
So they can take the mask
hallelujah, hallelujah. So only vaccinated though. So what are they going to say if they're going to ask for your vaccination passport.
They give you 2 cards if you had 2 shots. I wonder if you got to carry your cards around.
That's kind of reeks of Big Brother to me, that you got to show your card or your passport to do things. That makes me nervous.
You know, the one thing about the deal with Auburn, you know, this kid, I reckon the kid decided where he was going to go. Is that right? TJ?
Yeah, it's his life.
You know, Finley decided where he was going to go. So Auburn really didn't have much say-so, did they?
No, they were recruiting the heck out of these guys.
Well, yeah, they were recruiting him.
Yeah, I
know. The transfer portal.
Once you're in the portal, they can recruit you. But I just read an article, Mike, you might want to go to ESPN.com and read the same article. It's about tampering with all these transfers and the way that the coaches and the team and actually the players start recruiting these guys from other colleges. They say it is widespread, you know, with people talking and trying to get your players while they're at your school. Yeah. And, you know, the question is, how do you stop it? Is there anything you can do about it? Can the NCAA have anti-tampering rules? But, yes, coaches are contacting players, or they're contacting them through their high school coaches, or a friend, or a high school teammate. You know what's going to happen? People are going to start hiding these players until the season starts. Hey, our number 2, Mike, we need to hide him somewhere, don't we? And they're going for the smaller colleges.
Lindsay, I would. I mean, I don't think you really got to see anything more from Marshall. I wouldn't practice him that much if he didn't feel like he needed to.
I'd send him down to the beach and say, "Here, son, we'll let you stay here until the season starts."
They can, per this story, they can get to him, and you know, here's what they do. They say, "Are you happy? Wouldn't you? Or do you want to play for a little bigger program?" Or
now, let me tell you something here, Rice. This is going to tickle you. Troy University's football team is back on campus. They worked out Monday, and they were going to work out again on Wednesday. They're already back working out for the football season. And
now you have a lot of contacts at Troy University Athletics, correct?
A pretty good bit, yeah. Used to more than now.
I've got to move a bunch of stuff from a storage shelter that I've been storing for 2 years to my garage.
Yeah.
I'm tired of paying the $110 a month.
Yeah.
But I can't do it anymore, Mike. I'm just not strong enough, and I need help. And what I was thinking was, I need Troy University or high school football players. Could you
to make
tell
a
me
little money? Yeah.
To make them pay them well, to help me move boxes? You know, it'd be about 3 hours of work. Who do I talk to get that? Make that happen?
Well, just
you can just pull it. You can just pull a Mike Amos and show up in the parking lot and grab a couple guys. Well, that's what you used to do.
That's the way to do it.
I used to do that all the time. I had something heavy. One time, I'll give you
you had one of the strongest college football players ever. Shaughnessy's assistant used to help you.
Oh yeah, no question.
He only had 46 reps and 225.
Yeah, that's right.
Big Z.
More,
46 reps.
He had 52 reps. Yeah,
he set the record.
Yeah, no question. Let me tell you what happened one day. Palm trees. And if you know me, I know my wife, we have palm trees all over our yard. And,
they're beautiful.
Have them in the front yard and all that. And I got 4 football players from Troy University to help me unload a palm tree.
One palm tree.
And ladies and gentlemen, here's a good example. It's like getting 4 football players to carry this big old pole, big old light pole. You know how heavy that light pole is, you know? You got 4 players that carry to plant a light, you know.
But y'all did it.
Yeah. Oh, well, I don't know. We barely did it. I know that. It was tough.
You know, Rodney Jordan from Goshen that had a great career at Troy as offensive lineman is going to be a big-time coach, I predict. I think he's coaching that you follow now.
Yeah.
When he was at Troy, I had some moving to do. I moved from a house that Sohail Agbawala was renting me, I was either moving into it or out of it, and I got 2 or 3 Troy University players to help me with the U-Haul, and Rodney Jordan was one of them.
Yeah,
I mean, he's a great worker, and man, those big old linemen, they can move this stuff no problem.
Exactly right. Of course, again, we're talking about T.J. Finley, the quarterback at Auburn. He's so pretty. He's so much prettier than anybody else. He's 6'6", weighs 230 pounds plus. He's a giant. He can fly. He can outrun everybody.
He can throw it.
And,
he's got a cannon for an arm.
And you know, he's supposed to be the heir apparent to
Bo Nix.
But now Nix has got 2 more years.
I don't know how you can be the heir apparent, because Bo Nix could technically be a sophomore if he wants to next year. And he can play sophomore his junior and his senior year.
And I'm going to tell you something. He needs those 3 years to develop, you know, if he's going to ever be a pro player. He needs 3 years, I think.
He's mechanics and fundamentals.
Yeah, exactly. And he could help Auburn now. Let me tell you, he could help Auburn, you know, with all that experience. But what are they going to do with this guy?
T.J. Finley only passed for 941 yards and 5 touchdowns and 5 interceptions.
But how many games did he play?
He was only 2 and 3 as a starter.
Yeah. Before we get off this, we want to mention Planet Fitness is now open, a big time operation open on the bypass in the shopping center there.
Yeah, that's something that Troy got a Planet Fitness. That's
right.
Big time.
Yeah, that's open 24/7.
And they are 24/7, and it's all modern and top notch equipment and so forth. And they've it's one of the top programs out there. Well,
that's interesting. So we got Walt's Fitness Center, which has been around forever. They've remodeled Planet Fitness. Then you got the nice fitness center at Troy University that's free to Troy students.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, everybody I know goes to the Sportsplex to work for.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, and the Sportsplex.
Right, yeah. This is
4 places.
This has got tanning. It's got a lot of other things to go with it.
We used to have Troy Health and Fitness.
Where are you doing your rehab, Dad?
Well, I'm doing mine at my
Rehab Associates.
The Rehab and Associates, and they do a great job. I tell you, do a great job. And I called them up. I had to cancel out on a couple of them dates today, but I'll be back on it next week. And they do a great job, and they are professional, and I've been very pleased with.
I told my wife I'm going to start working out weight because my girls are growing and getting heavier and heavier. My God, you carry them long distances now. My upper body strength is just gone.
I
mean,
agree.
the easiest way to carry my daughter is actually to put her on my shoulders.
Yeah.
I mean, I walk around with her on my shoulders all the time, but man, I can't imagine having a son. A son probably be about 75 pounds by right now.
Yeah. We're straight up 8 o'clock. We'll be back.
Tuesday, May 20th.
May is Military Appreciation Month here at Fondy's Enterprise Toyota. Help share our love for our military with our annual Makers and Offers sales event and get NADA retail value for your trade. Every new vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty at Fondy's Enterprise Toyota.
When it comes to surgery, precision is perfection. The very latest technology available ensures the best possible outcome. The Mako Robotic Arm-Assisted Surgery System is now available at Troy Regional Medical Center. Skilled orthopedic surgeon Dr. Robert L. Liljeberg and his team provide patients with faster recovery and better movement after a knee replacement surgery. When accuracy matters, you deserve the very best. Troy Regional Medical Center.
Right now, you can join Planet Fitness for no enrollment, $10 a month, no commitment. We're keeping things squeaky clean with tons of equipment and plenty of space to spread out while you work out. And check out the crowd meter in our free app to pick the best time to visit. Don't wait. Join the judgment-free zone today for no enrollment, $10 a month, no commitment. Join in club or at planetfitness.com.
Planet Fitness is open in Troy. Join now for $0 enrollment and $10 a month. Hurry, deal ends June 8th.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
May is Military Appreciation Month here at Bondi's Enterprise Toyota. Come share our love for our military with our annual Make Us an Offer sales event and get NADA retail value for your trade. Every new vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty. Shop us online at bondistoyota.com.
All right, we're back on the air.
Back on the air, brought to you by First National Bank of Louisville.
We got a good shot of Michael's bedroom or study.
And also Max Federal Credit Union, and also Troy Bank and Trust Company. Remember, Troy Bank and Trust Company is the only bank you'll ever need, and we appreciate all those guys and the Premier Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, and Ram trucks on the bypass. We're there going with another big sale.
Sale in Saturday.
And you better get there quick. And we appreciate them very much. And also I want to mention Troy Regional Medical Center. And boy, how lucky we are to have a hospital.
Well, we talked about
like
Mr.
that.
Crow. He's been on the board of helping in a big-time leadership role for decades.
Well, you believe it or not, not only is he the chairman of the board of the hospital, he's the chairman of the board of Troy Bank and Trust Company. That's two big operators in Troy, Alabama, and he's on several boards because he's such a reputable person and one of the first class people in Troy and Pike County, Cheryl Crow.
This is, what do we call it? This is Be Kind To, or you are the citizen of the day? We might as well make it Cheryl Crow.
That's right. Let's just say it's Cheryl Crow Day in Troy, Alabama, and he'll chuckle about it. And class act, he always dresses sharp. He wears those penny loafers most of the time, and he's a preppy guy.
He goes to First United Methodist Church.
He sure does.
With my family.
I know, exactly. And he was a year behind your daddy at Troy, at Charleston, or Troy High School. And, why didn't your daddy play basketball? All they would have to do is get it to him inside. He could just dominate.
I asked him that question. Apparently he was just not very good at basketball.
He's 6'5".
He was 6'5". He was the tallest guy in school, but he didn't play basketball. Yeah.
I want to coach you.
Did Cheryl only play football 1 year?
Yeah, he made All-State. Did you know that? He made All-State. He played 1 year high school.
He was a great basketball player.
Yeah, but he made All-State in football. And you know what? He told me this one time. He said, actually, after they graduated, Auburn actually offered him a scholarship
to play football.
Yeah, but he already signed with or was going to sign with this junior, not a junior college, but Clark College in Mississippi.
So he liked to play basketball.
Yeah, because he wanted to play basketball. But he was a great athlete, no question.
Well, he still
I'll tell you something about him. I grew up in the same neighborhood, just right down the street from him. And he used to come when I was a little kid. Now this sounds silly. As a little 6-year, first grade. What grade would that be? I don't know exactly. That would be, but he'd come pick me on his bicycle, and he also, when the big boys were making fun of me, he'd go ahead and jump them.
He would stick up for you. I'm not surprised. His brother, Daryl Crow. He's in Birmingham and has been real successful as I think he was a urologist, but then in the health insurance business.
Yeah.
He started Pro Assurance, and then he patented a kidney stone transplant machine.
There you go. But my parents had a place at Lake Martin for a long time, like a lot of people in Pike County do today. And when you would take visitors up there, or part of your pontoon boat cruises, it was obligatory that you had to go by Richard Scrushy's big, huge, massive house in Point, which really wasn't the prettiest house, but it was the biggest and most impressive and a lot of land. But the second most impressive house on Lake Martin, as far as I'm concerned, is Daryl Crow's house. Yeah. It's just beautiful.
Oh yeah, I grew up.
Yeah, he built a famous house in Mountain Brook that took about 6 years to build.
Yeah.
A lot of people say it's the biggest house in Mountain Brook.
Yeah, and of course Daryl, I knew him too. He and my older brother were good buddies, and we all lived in the same neighborhood. I don't know what happened to me, but those guys did pretty good. But and also they had a brother named.
You like the late Bebe too. Bebe's the Bebe.
Yeah, Baby Crow was a good friend of mine, and he had an old baby blue motorcycle that I loved, and he used to take me for rides and everything. And Baby was quite a guy, and he's no longer with us. And then, you know,
there was Baby Crow, and then there was Baby Head.
No, what it was, the boys were Merle, Gerald, Daryl, and
Daryl.
Yeah, that's right, and Cheryl. The brothers were
Merrill, Gerald, Daryl, and
no, all right, in order though, it would be Merle, Daryl, Cheryl, and Gerald.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. They have some themes with their children's names. A lot of children have the same letter for their first name. Like I think of the Ingalls. I was real close to Kyle Ingalls, but it was Kyle, Kevin, and Kelly.
Yeah. You know, Mike, we don't think about sometimes, well, how did he become such a great dresser? You know, Sheryl Crow's immaculate.
Well, how did you become a great dresser?
Well, I don't know. Maybe I followed these guys a little bit, but between a dresser and I'll tell you what, his daddy. I remember his daddy was always dressed sharp, and he was an insurance salesman, and he always. Just
he looked good. That helps in business.
And then, Mike, you look at Cheryl, and you look at all the other guys. They were just like that. They must have learned it from their daddy, you know.
So was Cheryl and Burton Green the same age, or was Burton younger?
No, he was a year. Cheryl was a year, maybe 2 years older than Burton. I think he was 2 years older than Burton.
Burton was one of the great characters of Troy history.
Cheryl graduated. Your daddy graduated in '57. Cheryl graduated in '58.
Well, he graduated in '58.
Yeah,
well, he played his last football season was '57, but his graduation year was '58. So that would have mean Mr. Crow would graduate in '59. And I think William Davis is around there too.
Yeah, that's right. Now '59, you had William Davis after Cheryl.
He might have been 60.
Would be 60, and then that was a great one. They had probably one of the greatest athletes in all time at Charles Henderson was Ronald Giddings.
Oh yeah,
great player and everything. And then after Ronald Giddings came Ronnie Lindsay, that group, and Burton Green, and
then you get to the Mike Amos era.
I could, those guys are quite a bit older than me, but I probably can run down all of them. You know.
So when y'all were growing up, I know there was a Brundage Hospital, but was there even a Goshen? Did the Goshen kids come to Charles Henderson back then?
No. Well, they could go, but most of the time they went to Goshen. It was a county school system, and but we got a lot of the kids from
Banks.
No, some from Banks, but from out there, Marcy
Grove.
Out there where Marcy Grove is. What is that?
Okay.
What is that little town right there?
It's funny that I'm thinking back. There were kids.
You from Spring Hill?
Yeah, Spring Hill. We got almost everybody from Spring Hill, but the rest of the places went to the county schools.
I had one of my best friends in high school was a girl named Jennifer Johnston, and but she was from Brundage. So I don't know how she must have had some little land or house, family house in Troy, but. I never even thought anything about it, but
well, the thing about it.
So many kids from Troy that have teachers and people that work at Zion Chapel. I know that leave Troy and go to school at Zion Chapel.
Oh yeah, a lot of people want to go to Zion Chapel. Mm-hmm. It's beautiful, and it's going to be even more beautiful. School. I mean, it's a good school.
You know what? Another one that
has all kinds.
You're right. Zion Chapel, Goshen's got a good reputation. Yeah. Ayrton.
Yeah.
Everybody. Enterprise is a hot town.
Yeah, a lot of people live in Enterprise that probably work in Troy just to go to school in those Enterprise facilities. Their facilities are next to none, no question about it, in Enterprise.
There's several people that have left Troy City Schools to teach in Enterprise.
When I was Troy, everybody was from Dothan, it seemed like. We had a few people from Enterprise, but it seemed like there was a lot more from Dothan. Going to Troy University when I was in college.
But there are a lot of people that commute from Enterprise. It's a short commute. It's about 30 minutes probably, and it's easy to commute and go to school. So we have a lot of commuters.
I can think of several faculty members that were in Troy that are now at Enterprise. So what Enterprise is pilfering our people.
Oh yeah. Well, this is close to 30,000 people that live in Enterprise now. Troy's reached 20,000, so it's growing a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, forever Troy was 13,000. I look at these statistics and census information for population, and used to work at the Chamber of Commerce and handed out this information. People want to know what's your population and demos, but then suddenly it went from 13,000 to 19,000. Now you say it's 20,000, and that doesn't count the students. Or some of the students would be included in that, but most of them would not. So really, if you talk about people that put their head on the pillow every night in Troy, would you say it's at least 25,000?
Counting
students.
If you count the students. Now, also, what are we going to do with these big, very nice apartments going up on South Brundage Street? Also, those apartments growing up on Elm Street. I mean, beautiful, beautiful.
You're going to lease them. Is what you're going to do. What do you think they're going to do?
I know, but what I'm saying, I think we might have got too many houses out there.
Hopefully with COVID improving and life as we know will be back to normal in a year or so.
Where's there's one more section that's grown.
Yeah, I mean,
where's that?
You're right. There's about 3 big apartment complexes going up in town.
This massive construction of the county facility located on North 39th Street. If you haven't been out there, it is a huge, huge construction area, and I noticed
I want to go see it. Yeah,
that the big company out of Montgomery is building it. And
if you haven't been, I bet a lot of people.
Kemper bringing? How many jobs is the new distillery going to bring? How many jobs is that sawmill going to bring?
Yeah.
I mean, you need more places, don't you?
Yeah, you're exactly right, and there are more and more people needing housing and so forth, and I don't know, we might not have enough, but we're getting new sections out there by the Sportsplex, a big new place out there with beautiful homes, and it's growing.
What are having those? I guess Doug Hawkins built them. Those like cabins he built towards Lake Lagoon over there. Those still?
Oh yeah. They rent them.
They're cleaning up that area, and that lagoon is getting that area around the lagoon keeps getting prettier and prettier. And Miss Hawkins is going to make sure it's. I bet one day it'll be a show place down there. So that's a good location.
Tell me our main industries.
By employer?
Yeah, right now.
Well, Troy University would be the biggest employer, probably.
Wally Sanders stuck.
Well, the Sanders companies combined would be bigger than Troy University.
Yeah,
but I mean, but that's about 4 different companies.
But those are big.
You got K&W Plastics, you got Sanders Lead, you got Sanders Trucking. What else you got?
Well, they have at least 2,000 employees, I think. You would think.
Well, I guess what's the division at the old Ansel building that makes plastic paint buckets? Is that KW Plastics?
That's KW Plastics.
KW,
But that's really a separate division.
How many people does CGI employ?
A bunch.
Yeah, they do. But right now, most of their employment is at home.
Yeah, I don't see the cars there like this.
Peanut butter place is hiring a lot of people.
It's doing well, and they are hiring people now, and that's really growing too.
What's the place that makes different kind of sauces and condiments in Brundage?
Right,
that's
a big place.
That is a big operation.
And I saw him the other day. He said, the COVID has brought his employment down. And he said he needs to hire more people. And right now, jobs.
Yeah, you talking about that place that makes sauces?
Yeah,
I wish I could remember the name of it. I should know.
Yeah, in Alabama and Florida, they're about to take away the unemployment. That's about to go away. Yeah. People are going to have to start going back to work next month.
Well, and you wonder what's going to happen.
Well, let's say,
you ride around down here, Bill, you would be shocked. Every single fast food restaurant, every single store, everybody's got signs out needing employees. And like a lot of these places are 14, 15 an hour.
I want to tell you, I ate yesterday at what was it?
You ate at Sisters?
No, shoot.
Martin's?
No, right in front of the.
You went to Huddle House?
No, right there next to the.
We can keep guessing.
I cannot believe. I'm just. You go ahead. Whatever.
Well, that's all right. It'll come to you.
Ruby Tuesdays. I ate a Ruby Tuesday yesterday. And
see, it came to you, yeah.
Enjoyed my salad and everything, and it really did. And they said it had a sign outside. It says 200. We'll give you $200 for you to sign to work, go to work.
This is fascinating. What's going on?
Paying them. It's more places.
It is an economics lesson that if you pay people to not work, they will not work. Yeah. And they've gotten stimuluses. They've gotten extra. They're not only getting unemployment, they're getting extra and lengthier in unemployment.
Well, and it's because they're growing so much and everything. But Wiley Sanders is hiring a lot of people right now too. But you've got.
It makes you wonder how the Biden administration is doing all this, and then all of a sudden the borders, kind of went from being the walls and security was great, and now you're having more people come across again. It's making you wonder, like, are they counting on all these people that take these jobs that nobody wants?
Oh, heck yeah, they're doing it. And they also want those people because what do? They'll work cheaper, which keeps wages down, which keeps inflation down, really, because if you're paying these people now $14 or $15 an hour that used to pay $8 an hour, they're going to pass that expense on to the consumers with higher prices. That's why we're suddenly having inflation now, in my opinion, is people are suddenly being paid more than they were in the past, and so
regular gas down here now is at $3.15.
Oh my gosh!
Oh man!
$2.79 in Troy, I think.
Yeah, that's right. I want to mention our two huge companies north of us.
Lockheed Martin.
Yeah, Lockheed Martin.
Which has been a huge employer. It has done as well as it was predicted.
They continue to.
Sikorsky? Is Sikorsky still open?
Yeah, doing great.
Sikorsky, and those are two major companies that right there.
And then that Rex Lumber, the sawmill, is. If you haven't driven out there and looked at that operation, your mouth's gonna fall open when you.
And they're hiring a lot of people right now too at Rex's,
and lumber prices are through the roof. So I guess it was a $45 million investment, if not more, that these people invested in this company. Think about that, $45 million.
Well, also.
But they're getting their money back because the lumber prices are so high.
Also, we've got to look at the gun manufacturing company. Kimber. And
they're moving their whole operation from New York State, right outside New York City, to Troy, Alabama.
And a lot of people are coming in here wanting new homes, and they're going to buy some of these new homes we get.
Guns are interesting. They go in peaks and valleys. Gun sales under Trump were going down, but then under Obama they went up, and now with Biden, and we've had a lot of social unrest in the country. What's happening to gun sales and ammunition sales? Boom. So that's great for Kimber. And does the Sanders lead, their lead end up in ammunition and bullets?
Oh, yes, it does.
So that's got to be super for Sanders lead.
I'll tell you a little story before long, but of course you got Walmart distribution center.
Oh yeah.
And I was playing golf. I was not playing golf, but I was down there Saturday for that golf tournament, and just to look at that. I mean, you look right behind you, and for as far as you can see to the right, and far as you can see to the left, is that huge facility.
Massive, yeah.
That's a massive facility. And
everybody
wants. They took Dad on a tour there one time. They took us in that cold room, the freezer room.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it might have been 30, 34 degrees in there. That was the coldest place ever.
Well, I had a friend of mine that worked in there, and in there the whole time. He said, "Well, you'll eventually get used to it," but I don't know if I could. Golly.
I have never been inside of it.
Yeah. But those are some major industries in Troy, Alabama. Of course, the peanut butter factory is doing very well too. So that's another one.
You know why they're doing well? Well, they must make good peanut butter.
Everybody loves peanut butter.
But what they do is they make store brands or generic brands of peanut butter. They make peanut butter, and anybody can pop on their label Piggly Wiggly peanut butter or what. Well, what is people buying now? They're not buying Peter Pan and Jiffy, the more expensive name brands.
Yeah, that's right.
They're buying the peanut butter that they're making at Golden Foods.
Yeah. And,
keep doing it. That's great.
Peanut butter.
You know the highest selling NFL jersey is already now.
What?
Tim Tebow.
Oh my!
Are you serious? What is it? Number 15.
85.
What?
85. That
was
number 85.
That was Dad's number the first 2 years. Does he get a cut of those sales?
I'm sure he does. Yeah, I would think so.
I mean, it's got his name on it.
Yeah. Well, Sheryl Crow, we talked about you, my good dear friend, today on our show, and of course, what a wonderful city servant he is, and a businessman, and he started Crow's Chicken, and Crow's Chicken is famous today for that. And of course, Sheryl Crow started it.
We don't think anything about it, but everybody else in the world says a chicken place called Crow's.
And, a lot of people call him Rook. That was one of his nicknames, and he also made real good pizza. He was one of the first real pizza guys in Troy, wasn't he, Mike?
Yeah, my favorite was Pizza Village. That was always my favorite. He started out with.
Yeah.
And then he went to Rook's after that. I think he originally had Pasquale's, and then it went to Pizza Village.
Yeah.
And then Rook's, I believe.
I can remember the Pasquale's. It's about where Arby's was, right? On the bypass.
Yeah, they still have Pasquale's in little towns outside of Birmingham. I've been to one.
It's real good.
It was exciting when your family took you to Pasquale's or the Pizza Hut, and you.
Mike, what was that?
They always had a jukebox in there, and you play the.
What did we used to order? Not a pizza, but what was it? You remember Scromboni or what?
Oh yeah, that was good.
Well, it was really good.
Now, where did let me ask?
Calzone, Stromboni. You know what's so funny is I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day. So when El Palacios was in Troy, of course everybody loved El Palacios and Ozark and drove and stood in line forever. But they had one in Troy. The best thing they had out there was their steak fingers. To me, I used to order their homemade steak fingers.
Oh yeah.
Let me ask y'all a question. When you went out on dates in high school or college in Troy, where did you go? I can remember taking a couple of girls on dates. Back then you'd really go on dates. I don't think kids go on dates anymore, but I can remember taking them to the Pizza Hut. You get a picture?
Yeah. Yeah, to the picture show
I
of the
used to
pizza.
I used to go to the Pines, and I used to go to Mossy Grove, but then my number one spot was Bird's Drugs in charge at the Mike Evans. I don't know how many random girls I took up there.
I remember going to the Pines too on dates and Mossy Grove.
And when you left, Michael, they were thinking you had stolen the food because you didn't pay for it.
And I'm ashamed.
Well, back then you could charge at the Troy Country Club, and you could charge at you ought to be
ashamed of you.
I'm gonna tell you a date story.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself doing that to your daddy.
I took Rhonda Gunter was a high school classmate. Miss Herman Gunter, Mrs. Gunter's daughter, that was a great twirler, feature twirler. She always dating somebody else in high school, but in college, I asked her out, and Rhonda and I went out on a date, and I took her to Montgomery. I'm sorry to say, I think I went to the restaurant on the right before you get to Montgomery. But here's what I had: either forgot my money or my credit card, or didn't have enough, and I realized that before we got to the restaurant. I said, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? I've got this date and I'm taking this girl. So I said, who do I know in Montgomery? Well, Martha and Al Gibbs. No, Martha Gibbs was living in Montgomery. Al Gibbs was dating Martha before they got married.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm going over to Martha's house and just see if they're there. And I went over there, and
with
Martha
your
was
days now,
yeah.
All right.
I think I came clean to Rhonda, and told Martha, and Al happened to be there courting Martha, and I said, y'all, I need some money. I'll pay you back, and they spotted me the money for my date.
Yeah. King Cox, if you're out there, we're going to talk about you one day, and also.
You actually told her that. You actually told her that you couldn't pull somebody.
I can't remember if I told her or not. I think I told her later. Maybe I didn't tell her, and I just said, "Oh, I got to go see Martha and say hello to her." And then I just said, "Hey, you happen to have any $50?"
Al Gibbs was one of the great people of all time too. It's just the world of them. We're going to talk about all these people on our show because not only is it fun to talk about them, and most all of you know them, but it's just how doggone good they were to our community and to their fellow.
I can say that Rhonda is, and she now lives in South Florida, like near Miami, and she's done real well.
Okay, a Tuesday is going down the drain, so we're heading.
Yeah, go support Troy baseball today at Riverwalk Stadium at 12:30. They'll play Arkansas State.
If not, you can pick them up on FM 94.7 by the radio.
Listen to Barry McKnight.
And I wish I could.
You know, every once in a while, if I get on 98 and I get in a decent spot, I can listen to the radio out of Troy down there.
Yeah, that's right.
Wow.
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
that's 2 hours away.
Yeah, you're right. Well, we appreciate our sponsors, Max Federal Credit Union, and right here on the bypass.
And you're heading down to the beach, aren't you?
Yeah, I sure am. I've got a little granddaughter that's going to graduate in the morning, so I got to get up, got to go on down there and get set.
Don't be like Carrie and me when Jack's pre-K graduation. Yeah. We thought it was at 10 o'clock and it was at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, that's right. Mike, listen, are you gonna feed me? You gonna feed us?
Yeah, we'll go somewhere to lunch. We're talking about maybe going to Chanticleer where you can get a big Reuben sandwich.
Oh yeah, that's exactly. The food is wonderful there, no question about it. We hope you've enjoyed our show, and you'll be with us bright and early in the morning for Today in LA.